Welcome to Oblivion 9.
December 17, 2018, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. About 2 days ago, something big happened, but I guess most of us don't know. But I actually just read the report. There's this, I'm not sure if that was ours or someone else, but this big giant triangular shaped object, I'm not talking about just miles long, you know, I'm talking about like maybe 100-mile long spacecraft, and it was traveling towards the sun, and
objects, I couldn't believe my eyes. They were immense. I mean, they only looked like little dots on the data, but a little dot beside the sun means that the object is almost the size of the Earth.
Planet-size objects entering the sun. Had NASA found something extraordinary that even NASA had missed? He thinks there's only one explanation.
I believe these objects may be intergalactic ships from advanced civilization. They appear to be under intelligent control. They don't appear to act in a natural way that you would expect from, you know, cosmological objects like comets and meteorites and so on.
Could this explain the sun's odd behavior? Are changes in its sunspot and solar flare activity being caused by alien ships?
The solar flare appears to emanate right after the objects impact the sun. To me, clear that the two are absolutely related, and the sun flare is most likely the shock wave resulting from the penetration of the objects through the surface of the sun.
Alien spacecraft deliberately crashing into the sun. It's an incredible theory, but why would they do it? According to NASA, the answer lies in the astronomical records of the ancient Egyptians.
When I looked at all the data around the world from all these civilizations, they all talked about the sun gods. When you looked at these texts and the way they described them, they talked about the sun gods using the sun as a gateway. If you were an advanced civilization, and here I'm talking about a very advanced civilization, you could maybe enter and then come out at any other point in the universe.
Is our sun part of an intergalactic highway being used by alien traffic? Are they responsible for disrupting its natural cycles and threatening the Earth?
Now, we did some pretty strange things on the Enterprise, but this is weird or what? Let me see if I got this straight. NASA scientists say our sun's sunspot cycles are behaving weirdly, and this could cause a giant killer solar flare to head towards Earth, right? While another guy, Nassim, thinks that there's something else causing these solar flares. He thinks aliens in spaceships the size of the Earth are crashing in and out of the sun, wreaking havoc. Nassim's theory seems crazy, right?
there was there's basically unidentified flying objects. They're disc. They look like disc. There were about, I think, 5, 6, or 7. I don't remember because I only read the report one time. So this triangular shape, it looked like from one of those Star Wars movie, and I don't know, this UFOs, or let's just say, you know, this disc-shaped objects are basically firing some type of white lasers on top of this thing, and basically for some reason it got destroyed, and the feedback from the camera basically, you know, got cut off. So I'm not sure if it was part of the explosion, you know, like the EMP drive. Basically when you hit a ship, if they have one on there under propulsion, and if you basically destroy the ship, obviously that thing's gonna affect that, and it will cause the EMP drive to be activated and explode as well. So I'm not sure if that's what happened. And I was looking into this guy's YouTube, Mr. MBB333, you know, the weather guy. He was saying something about, he found this in one of his latest videos. I think that was yesterday. I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but those discs, they look very similar, and they were actually close to the sun too. And also, is it a coincidence that, you know, too much spraying, so you don't really see what the hell's going on? And so I don't know. Like I said, this triangular spaceship, I'm not talking about just a couple miles, you know. I'm talking about like 100-mile long spacecraft, and getting destroyed by, you know, a UFO like we normally see. You know, it's like a disc-shaped objects, and I don't know, they were firing on top of it, and after that, I don't know, it got cut off. So basically the damn thing probably exploded, and I was gonna do a video about it like yesterday, but you know, if you just don't have time, you just don't have time. And I don't want to keep opening up, you know, the computer and be like, whoa, are you on there again? You know, if your boss is looking at you. And I mean, me and him were cool, you know, but sometimes maybe if you can't cross the line, you just don't cross the line unless you're ready for it, you know. And so I saw this video from, you know, Mr. MBB333.
Saturday, December 15th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018. Guys, I remember back years ago when we were anxiously awaiting the arrival of the first pictures from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. This was back in 2009. I have that linked here at the website under the Sun tab. And this is the spacecraft that orbits the Sun with the Earth. Gives us a unique perspective, in fact, many unique perspectives of the Sun. Fantastic instrument. This was put in orbit in 2009. We've been monitoring the Sun with that and a combination of the SOHO LASCO C2 and 3 instrument that has been in orbit around the Sun with the Earth since 1998. Reviewed tons and tons of footage from the SOHO and LASCO C2 and 3. Now, for the first time, the Parker Solar Probe has returned an image from 16 million miles away from the Sun. As I mentioned earlier, the SDO and the LASCO instruments are 93 million miles from the Sun. They orbit the Sun with the Earth. This is a different instrument. It orbits the Sun, and it's getting closer. We're going to take a look at the first photograph returned here in just a minute. But first, the article put out by Parker Solar Probe on December 13th, 2018. Preparing for discovery with NASA's Parker Solar Probe. Weeks after Parker Solar Probe made its closest approach ever to a star, the data from the first solar encounter is just making its way to planet Earth. Parker Solar Probe was about 16.9 million miles from the Sun's surface when this image was taken. The bright object near the center of the image is Mercury, and the dark spots are a result of background correction. So basically, they're saying that these dark spots are artifacts of some sort. We're going to take a close look as we can go into a high-res look at this image, one of the first images ever returned from this historic, it's actually an unprecedented event, and here it is. And if we look even closer, these things have a common personality. There's a dark dot in the middle and a thin line around that dot. And they all look kind of the same. This one's a little different. And pretty much a straight line going down to Mercury, which, looking at this, that looks like something transiting across Mercury's surface, which would indicate typically that that's a moon. But in this case, however, I'm assuming that that's a digital artifact, as we're taught that Mercury has no moon. So unless something new has changed, that is probably not a moon, even though it looks like one. And then there's some more of these digital artifacts here, here, and these are the ones that I just showed you earlier. And then there's some more up here at the top. So don't know what those things are, don't know anything about this spacecraft, as this is the first image returned to Earth. But one thing I noticed in this photograph was something up here at the top, and it could be just a semi-invisible labeling technique that they've used, and it looks like an A at the top of this image. Let me zoom back out, and it's not really super noticeable, but it's right up here. In fact, it's right there. But what I did was enhance the photo a little bit. I ran it through some different filters to try and pull that forward a little bit. This is a little video I put together, and it looks like an A up here at the top. That's in negative format, just looking at the streamer, Mercury, the different anomalies. There's the A. And that could be something that's just stamped on the image, or it could be something else, I don't know. There's Mercury up close, looks like a moon transiting across the disk. Pretty sure it's just a glitch. Here's another look in a blue format. I think this is sci-fi. This is a heat wave image where it enhances the light. And there you can see that A up there at the top. Let me stop it real quick. See the lines up here? I'm going to show you a comparison where I've put outlines around these lines that form what looks like a symmetrical structure. More than likely, it's just a labeling anomaly that probably wasn't supposed to be seen. But anyway, with all the triangles that we've been seeing in images from Earth in the proximity of the sun, it didn't surprise me. So that's a little video I put together of different views of this historic image right here. So here are some of the angles I looked at. I took and outlined that what looks like an A at the top of this picture. There's the outline. Here's without the outline. I know it's tough to see, but it's right there. See it? Let me get a little closer. See what looks like an A? Now I'm going to show you a comparison. There's the outline, and there's by itself. Pretty easy to see. And again, it could be just another artifact of labeling this particular photograph, photograph A, because there's clearly an A right there. Or it's something else. I have no idea.
That's, you know, this craft basically is in formation headed towards the sun, and also that there's this letter A marked on there, like on top of it. So I'm trying to figure out if that A is actually not an A. What if that was a you know, like that triangular shaped craft that I was basically saw when I opened the report. And you know, because the thing is, here down on Earth, basically local people or scientists, you know, that have no clue, that's their work, and basically that's it. We could come up with a bunch of scenario, assumption, you know, and all of that, but it's not accurate because you're not using a specific tool to basically enhance your capability, so that you're not going to have an idea, you actually have a facts. So basically that's what happened. And so after seeing the video, I said, whoa, you know, is this the same thing? and that letter A on there, maybe it was not an A, it's actually like a triangle, and they basically, you know, cut the feed. And after that, because in this video it's actually said, you know, the feed was cut off, and you know, we'll get back to you when it's done. So after viewing that video, it feels like they crapped the photograph. You know, they cut it in pieces and kind of like realigned it and make sure that, you know, it looks the same. But I think and I believe that it's the same damn thing, and they covered it up. And you know, I'm blessed enough that every time there's some weird stuff going on up here or down here, you know, the report kicks in, because the military basically does the report, and from different branches, and they basically also take notes and put it in the report from other countries, you know, the government wise, and when it's verified, like, you know, it's identical, it's the same thing. And I don't know, I'm just kind of like super excited. Well, not excited that the ship blew up. I mean, I'm excited that, you know, there was maybe identical reporting. And what I'm telling you is not on the guy's video, because, you know, when we get a video, same thing with secure team, we get a photograph, and then we come up with all these crazy stories, and then we assume that basically that's it, and everybody believes it, because, you know, you have 1,000 video uploaded on YouTube, and basically that's it. So if you come up with another one and you made up your mind based on assuming, or based on, you know, just trying to figure out what it is, because you have no clue, and then people will just say, oh yeah, that's it, you know, I got it. And I don't know, it's just wild. And then if you're sitting down and then you're getting the correct report, you know, the material that is supposed to be the real stuff, you know, you'll be like, whoa, you know, this is the right stuff right here, not what the guy said. But it doesn't really matter if what they're saying is the truth or not. But when you put things together, the truth, the real stuff, and the assuming part, you'll know that basically the whole thing is just, you know, it gives you a bigger perspective, you know. You kind of like expand the idea of what it is, what happened, and if you have other people that works in similar jobs, that gives you another video, another data of what happened, then that's fine too. Because when you put it all together, you know, when you puzzle all this enigmatic stuff, you will come up with something big, you know, something big. And when you do that, and then when you have that, then there you go. You see the bigger picture rather than the small little pieces. Part of it is a bunch of lies. And, you know, because based on assumptions. But that's basically what I saw. A big giant triangular shape, and getting bombardment by, you know, between 5 or 7 disc glowing white objects firing white type of laser beams or something. I don't know. It was wild, man. The video lasted about, I don't know, 12 seconds maybe? Probably max 15, but I'm sure it was between 10 or 12. It was short because, like I said, the feedback from the camera just cut off. So, and then it was like on high definition, you know? It's like 4K. So you can actually see it right there. It's like freaking really close. So there's freaking war going on up there. So what I want to know, because this wasn't in the report, was that ship ours? Or was it something else? Or maybe, I don't know what. But it looks like a transport ship that's heading towards, or maybe entering the sun, you know, the sun god, or let's just say Stargate.
Please, Nassim, can you explain these photos?
Thank you. Thank you. So, Klaus came to me with these pictures a few months ago and kind of threw me for a loop. I was just amazed to find these pictures. These pieces, they are the first pieces I've seen in archaeology that so descriptively seem... Everybody understand English? Yes. Is there people that have a hard time with English?
Nassim ich habe vor einigen Monaten, wir haben uns ja schon kennengelernt bei einem Kongress, beim Nexus-Kongress letztes Jahr in Australien. Und ich war begeistert von Nassim und er war wieder begeistert von meiner Arbeit. Und so kommt man eben zusammen. Und ich war vor allem glücklich, endlich einmal auch mit einem Top-Wissenschaftler Informationen austauschen zu können. Und ich bin der Meinung, wenn man Informationen gibt, dann kann man auch Informationen erhalten. Und wie ich Nassim die Fotos geschickt habe, habe ich ihn 2 Tage später angerufen und habe ihn gefragt, Nassim, hast du dir die Bilder angeschaut? Sagt er, welche Bilder? Sage ich, du bist ein guter Freund, ich habe dir Bilder geschickt. Habe ich gesagt, schau einmal nach. Dann hat er gesagt, ja, wait a minute, hat nachgeschaut. Dann hat er 3 Minuten nur mehr gesagt, oh my God. Oh my God. Und ich habe gelacht, weil ich gewusst habe, wie ich die Bilder gesehen habe, habe ich gleich gewusst, da muss ich Nassim fragen, weil das geht genau in seine wissenschaftliche Theorie.
So, you know, here in this piece, for instance, first of all, the piece look very much like the vehicle that is portrayed on it. So the
Das
piece
Objekt
itself
selbst schaut aus wie ein UFO.
and the object is obviously arriving in the solar system. We see planets around it. The sun here, it's flaring quite strongly.
Das Objekt, das man hier sieht, was könnte ein UFO sein, kommt in das Sonnensystem und man sieht die Sonneneruptionen, man sieht die Planeten im Umfeld.
And, you know, this is very, very distinct physics that we know of. This is very much a description of what we call a wormhole in physics, which is a consequence of Einstein field equations.
Was man hier rechts sieht, ist eine wissenschaftlich bewiesene Sache, ist ein Wurmloch und geht in die Einstein, in what?
Field equations? Field equation?
In die Einstein-Feld. Okay.
Yes, and that was first worked out by John Wheeler. And, you know, what's really remarkable here, first of all, you know, these pieces, usually in many of the pieces that Klaus and I have been looking at for some 20 years or 25 years, you know, there's a certain amount of interpretation that has to be done, a certain amount of decoding.
In den letzten Jahren bei Objekten von mir, bei Objekten, die Nassim recherchiert hat, wird viel hineininterpretiert. Entschuldigung. mach du es, du bist besser in Englisch, weil ich bin voll im
You're doing great. You're doing great. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, usually there's a certain amount of interpretation that has to happen, but here there's no interpretation needed. It's pretty clear. This is obviously a spaceship that is coming out of what we call a wormhole. And what was really exciting for me is that, in standard physics, when we came up with the mathematic for a wormhole in standard physics,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Hier braucht man nicht viel erklären. Man hat hier das UFO, man hat das Wurmloch. Das UFO kommt aus dem Wurmloch heraus.
Yeah, and in standard physics,
Und in der klassischen Physik,
the wormhole mouth is billions and billions of times smaller than an atom.
der Ausgang des Wurmlochs ist millionenfach kleiner, smaller than,
An atom.
als ein Atom.
Yeah. And so it's conceptually impossible to travel through wormholes.
Darum sagt die Wissenschaft, ist es unmöglich, durch ein Wurmloch zu reisen.
But there is one possibility, and that is that spin at high velocity can open the mouth of a wormhole.
Ja, jetzt gehst du aber her.
Come on.
Weil
Yes.
Ja, ich kann nicht so gut.
Weil bei der Wissenschaft lacht es bei mir aus.
Timo. Ja.
So there's a possibility.
Ja, durch die Drehung öffnet sich das. Durch die Drehung öffnet sich das Wurmloch, wird größer.
But that possibility is only possible in the physics of spin in Einstein field equation, which is something I put in to Einstein field equation.
Thank you. Es ist nur möglich über diese einsteinische Feldgleichung. Ne? Yes, please, come on. Very nice.
Super.
We know each other, no problem. Thank you. Okay, also durch die, dadurch, dass Nassim halt den Spin reingebracht hat in diese einsteinischen Feldgleichungen, ist es möglich, dass sich das halt öffnet. Und Entschuldigung. Hat das jetzt jeder verstanden oder soll ich es nochmal wiederholen? Okay.
Ja.
Okay. And so basically here you can see that the wormhole is spinning and that is opening a mouth for the spaceship to come out.
Man kann halt sehen, dass an der einen Seite das Wurmloch klein ist und sich immer weiter erweitert und dann im Endeffekt das UFO rauskommen kann.
You want to go to the next?
Ja.
So here we have an even more amazing piece. And you are all some of the first ones to see these pieces.
Also noch ein beeindruckendes Bild und wir sind welche der Ersten, die das sehen.
Die ersten.
And you can see again we have a solar system. Here is a planet with an atmosphere.
Das Sonnensystem und der Ring, den er da gezeigt hat, ist ein Planet mit einer Atmosphäre.
And this planet with an atmosphere must be the Earth. We can assume it's the Earth, but it's definitely a planet with an atmosphere. There's a ship here and a ship here.
Ja, wir nehmen an, dass es die Erde ist, weil es eine Atmosphäre hat und man sieht dann halt diese Schiffe, die Richtung Erde, weil wir es annehmen gehen.
And there's a nice little blow-up of what's inside the dome of the ship.
Ja, wie so eine Explosionszeichnung, also das, was innen drin ist, zeigt dann da oben halt das Bild.
In case you're confused about what it is. And this is as well, you can see the steps here, typical of, pyramidal step pyramids.
Ja, man sieht da halt diese Streifen, das sieht aus wie eine Treppe und das erinnert eben an diese Stufenpyramiden, die man überall findet.
And here we can see that this
ship is following a comet that is coming at the Earth.
Da kann man annehmen, dass das UFO im Prinzip einem Kometen folgt, der auf die Erde zusteuert.
Or at least at the planet that's here. And you can see that this UFO, right, which you can see is moving at high velocity, is doing something to push the comet.
Also wenn man sich das UFO im Endeffekt anguckt, dann kann man annehmen, dass diese Streifen von unten eine Bewegung mit einer hohen Geschwindigkeit ist und dass es eine Interaktion zwischen dem Kometen und dem UFO gibt.
So this could be a representation of an event either in our past or in our future.
Ja, im Endeffekt muss man annehmen, dass es eine Repräsentation ist von irgendeinem Event, das entweder in der Vergangenheit gelegen hat oder in der Zukunft, weil jetzt ist es ja nicht.
And so a very interesting piece as well.
May I say here something?
Yes. Oh, you have a mic.
Ja, sorry. Von dieser Darstellung gibt es einige gravierte Steine, wo man einen sogenannten Raumfahrer, könnte man sagen, wo man den sieht. Und wie ich die ersten Bilder angeschaut habe und mehrere dieser Darstellungen gesehen habe, habe ich gesagt, Gott sei Dank hält der die linke Hand hoch, weil wenn er die rechte hochhalten würde, dann hätte er ein Problem mit Wiederbetätigung in Wien, wenn ich die Stücke in die Ausstellung bringe. Weiß man nicht. Wir haben noch keine Altersdatierung Stein. Stein kann man nicht altersdatieren. Das ist ja das einzige Problem. Bitte? Zentralamerika.
So if here you have, you shouldn't be recording this. No recording. Okay, so here we have other pieces. Again, we have a solar system. The sun is very clear here. We have a planet with an atmosphere. We have another planet here. And we got an ascending ship here, another one down there, and then one inside the sun flare.
Ja, im Prinzip sieht man da wieder die Sonne mit den Sonneneruptionen im Endeffekt, dann wieder der Planet mit der Atmosphäre, angenommen die Erde, andere Planeten drumherum und eben oben ein UFO, was nach oben wegfliegt, ein anderes UFO, was unten wie auch immer ist und eins, was direkt in diesem Sonnenflare drin ist.
And as you will see in my conference, I'm going to show you the mathematics and the reason why it may be appropriate to think of the sun as a doorway to travel through through our galaxy and even in our universe. And the ancient people always called it a doorway.
Also Nassim hat gerade einen Ausblick auf seinen Vortrag gegeben, dass er da drin präsentieren will, also die Mathematik präsentieren wird, dass es möglich ist, im Endeffekt die Sonne als Portal zu nutzen und dass das eben auch durch die alten Mythen im Prinzip beschrieben wird.
So here,
sorry.
So here we see a UFO coming out of the sun. It's very specific.
UFO aus der Sonne raus, ziemlich deutlich dargestellt.
Because, when you go deeper to this thing, and then when you start reading the ancient mythologies, and also when you're reading all the reports that you thought never existed, it's kind of like messing up your mind, because, you wake up from a lie, and then after waking up from a lie, it's hard to just change your mind to believe in something that never existed before. Because, you've been living in a dreamland and everything is a damn lie. Same thing with, just being in a matrix. If you watch the movie, you'll understand what what I mean. All this rain thing, you know, in reality, when it gets hot, you know, the atmosphere, you know, it generates basically those water vapor, and then it comes down as the rain. But now when you learn stuff like this, the whole rain thing is basically, it's a fake. Because one, you got planes and drones and basically other objects spraying the sky, and then you got sun simulators. I'm not talking just one or two or three. We have a lot of them. So when you heat things up, obviously those things is gonna turn into water, and it's crazy. And if you believe in flat Earth, that's fine. And if you don't, then that's fine too. I mean, I can't argue with you. I mean, if you want, you can meet up with me, and I will give you my ID and try to look like me, and I'll give you my uniform, and you go in there, you sit down at my desk, open the computer, I'll give you all the passwords and stuff so that you can verify what I'm talking about. And then if you get in, you see something, and everything I said tonight, or for all the videos that I basically created, uploaded, and shared with you guys, if all of it is legit, then basically then you'll know the truth. Because a lot of times, you know, we don't believe in anything unless we see it ourselves, you know, because that's how it's supposed to work. Same thing what Jesus said. Happy to those people who did not see but believe, you know.
I was looking at the HI behind stereo camera, and I happened to notice two weird things, if you'll watch with me here. Now look at the top kind of right portion of your screen right there. There's like a Y shape. It's like there are 5 stars shaped like a Y maybe, or it's the USS Enterprise, or it's an unknown mothership. But you'll notice where it flies to then becomes a big triangle of light, and then evaporates as the USS Enterprise / unidentified flying object / unidentified flying star cluster / who knows what that is, dude. That's definitely a Y. It's got wings. I mean, it's like a Y wing, and it's got the upper Y, the lower Y. It maintains its shape the whole time. Yeah. And then over where Venus has just left the screen, we get some brightening when there is no CME. Then we get the Y wing approaching, and then we get, without a big bolt of light, we get a giant triangle in space. What is that? What are you, giant triangle in space? And what are you, man? Can you tell me what you are, giant triangle? I like triangles. They're like squares and circles. Can't have life without them. But I don't know what that is, man. Do you know what that is? A, what is the Y-wing ship? Is it the USS Enterprise? Some strange star cluster? And why does it seem to meet up with the giant upside down battleship from Star Wars? You know what I'm talking about? The destroyers? I'm sure some science guy can tell me that that's probably some crane star formation or something like that. But that you got an unidentified flying spaceship and a giant space triangle together.
And things happen. But I don't know. That's basically what happened. It was, if there's people inside that ship, aliens, I don't know. I don't know really what's going on, but the damn thing was destroyed, and that guy from the Mr. MBB333 basically got that video. I'm sorry guys, I can't show you the videos because, you know, I'm getting you the information, and if I start uploading the military files or data on YouTube, I might get in trouble, because before, I think last year, yeah, there was this, you know, people inside the car hanging, like, you know, near my house, and after 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know, it's a little intense sometimes, and they're just, I don't know, I don't want to get in trouble. I mean, I don't really care. I want to tell the truth, but at the same time, you know, I just want to keep it safe. This way I can keep going with what I'm doing. But I'll upload this later. It basically I don't know, just puzzle the pieces, like, you know, in your head, gather all the information. I'll try to put things together and you know, and see what happens. But all I can say is that there's a firefight up in space. So basically this transport ship is trying to get inside the sun. You know, about the sun thing, you know, we might think that that thing is like super hot, but I don't think it's super hot, because a lot of large ships it's going inside of there. Even the Mayans, you know, they carve stuff on the stone saying that the sun is the Stargate. So basically you can go inside of there. Same thing with NASA. I think a few months ago, or earlier this year, or no, maybe sometime summer, I don't remember, but they're sending a spacecraft into the sun, and then they'll tell you like, oh, the feedback's been cut off again. Just like the Vikings, you know, feedback's cut off, and then Vikings too, cut off. Come on now. Same thing with the telescope that they sent out there, cut off also. Same thing with Hubble telescope. Oh, you know, it's not functioning anymore. It's cut off too. Observation post cut off too, you know. Come on now. Same thing with this report that I was viewing. 12 seconds later, or 10. Feedback cut off too. I mean, what we gotta do? Start cutting off feedbacks from everywhere, you know? It's crazy, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what's going on. Same thing when I told you guys about those boomerang ships. A secure team basically, you know, came up with it like a week later, and it stated that oh, this guy's from God knows where. They stated that they actually just found this they found 4 different ships that are basically approaching Earth, or maybe it's like nearby, you know, stuff like that. But they don't understand is that I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. This thing is hovering here. They were here before. We shut one of them down, and basically 2 took off, and now they're sending, well, they actually sent 4 already, is hanging above there. But what they're sending down is a little ship that looks identical to the big ones, like to the Earth dome. But like I said, it's hard to explain because people don't believe the dome. They don't believe in the flat Earth. They don't believe in the Stargate. You know, black holes are basically just like the sun. When the sun dies, it turns into a black hole. Do you guys know that? You know, when people tell you, oh, the sun is about what? It's a million miles away and it's super hot. Would you like to go there and check it yourself? How far it is, how hot it is? Because why would all this giant spacecraft, bigger than our planet, goes inside of it and then comes out of it? They don't get burned. And then we will talk about Bob Lazar, you know, that element 115. But there is another one. It's called the Black Element 5. And 2 of them works together. You can't have just one. And what Bob Lazar was dealing with is basically the metallic shielding that's basically you see all over the ship. You know, like the shell casing of it. The element 5 is basically the materials that goes inside of it, that when you touch the ship, it glides, you know, to wherever you want to go. See, that's pretty cool, huh? Something that you guys don't know. But we'll get into that on probably a different video. And we'll talk about Balthazar. What happened to him at Area 51 before he was transferred to S4. I didn't know that he was working at S4. I thought he was working at S10. They're nearby sites, but they're two different ones. So basically, I told everyone that I worked in S4 before. And security team basically verified after talking to Balthazar that he was working at the S4. And I was actually surprised. I could actually review his documents, you know, and see what's there. But so that's basically what I have for tonight. So it's been 22 minutes of talk time, and I just got home from work and I'm very tired, and I hope I don't get caught saying things like this, but I love the truth, man. I'm just like you. I want to know more, you know? I want to know more. I want to meet the freaking aliens. But yes, I did meet one. It was, I don't know. It was a weird looking, I'm not going to say thing. I'm just going to say it was a weird looking person. Because it looks human. It was tall, and the torso is a little bit long, and it does have hair, you know, facial recognitions and stuff like that. But I don't know. It was just a little weird. And then the military was surrounding this guy, and they went somewhere. So I'm not sure if it's going to one of the cell there, or, you know, like a jail. But I don't know. It seemed like calm. So I don't know. And I'll tell you guys where I work. You know, I'll give you a description where I work at the S4 base, and also I'm gonna tell you where I work now, so it can give you an idea of what I'm talking about. But I don't know, just pretty wild stuff. Anyway, yeah, just buy your guns, get your food supply, find places to hide, and if you want to team up when the time comes, I will give you guys a heads up, and then we can meet up, and you know, we'll take care of one another. Let's get through this. All right, I'll see you. Love you 9.